also a goat farmer. He is a new father. He is a dear friend of mine, like I was saying. Guys, welcome to the show, Mr. Dana Derricks. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Hey, thanks so much for having me back. Can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's not too often I bring someone on twice in Sales Funnel Radio, kind of as a policy almost. I'm excited you're here.
Awesome, man. Let's do it.
Well, hey, now a lot of people, the show has grown like crazy since you've been on. I think you were on like literally 200 episodes ago. How did you become the Dream 100 guy?
Oh, man. Okay, so first of all, for everyone listening, for context, in case like you haven't listened to the other 200 episodes, Steven makes that seem like a big deal or whatever, or not a big deal. But like 200 episodes for Steven, that's like 2 weeks. So I was on like 2 years ago. Everyone else, that's like 10 years worth of content. So, yeah. No, I'm super excited. I can't believe you're 200 plus episodes in, man. That's bravo.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, sorry. I didn't want to gloss over that.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks.
All right. So how I kind of became the category king, I guess, of the Dream 100 is, man, it's like ironic, right? So I first learned about the strategy or discovered it from Chet Holmes and his Ultimate Sales Machine. He had a chapter on it. That was like not enough. Like, I'm like, oh my God, there needs to be a book on this thing. And I looked and I thought there'd be 10 books on it and there weren't. So that was like, okay, we should probably change that. And then it wasn't long after I created my first Dream 100 list, like my actual intentional thing, right?
Huh.
A lot of people have been doing it without knowing. And so I finally knew. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do it for real. I put Russell Brunson's name as number one. And fast forward, build a relationship with him, do the whole Dream 100 thing. And it was him. He was the reason that I became the category king because of an interview I was doing with him. And I asked him a question. I said, Russell, what is like the one mistake you made in your business that you wish you could go back and fix? And his answer shocked me. I was not expecting it. He said, I wish I wouldn't have ran around for so many years trying to be everything for everyone. And I wish I would have planted my flag in the ground as the funnel guy like years ago. And he didn't even finish his sentence. And I knew like that means I need to go plant my flag. By the end of the day, I was in my head, Mr. Dream 100. Like I was like the category king already. And then I went all in and did all the stuff that you need to do in order to actually be that.
Which you were already an expert of. I mean, for everyone who doesn't know, like I watched, because I was sitting in the room, right? Suddenly Russell's talking about this guy, Dana Derricks. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, he's like, yeah, look, he sent this to me, did this to me, coming over here. And then suddenly I saw on Russell's calendar behind his office, Dana Derricks, rewrite, ClickFunnels homepage copy with Dana Derricks. I was like, what? And Dana comes flying in and they spent, it's where I learned how to do the whole floor on the piece of paper on the floor. That's how I brainstorm. I mean, behind this thingy right now, that's exactly what I'm doing. It's because I watched you do that. I mean, you were already such a master at it by that time.
Guy, that was one of the best like weeks in my career coming out there. That was so much fun. And you're a huge part of that. For you guys that are listening or watching, like, I don't know if somehow we can in the like notes or something, get that picture of you in that chicken suit.
Okay, I'll find it.
So yeah, I won't spoil it, but maybe we could actually, man, we're going to see each other in a month or so. Maybe we could get that thing dusted off, pull it out the closet.
It's right over there.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yep. All right. Keep listening, everybody, because at the end of this episode, we're going to reveal how and where you can see the one and only Steven Larson wearing a full-grown chicken suit.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
So you go in and you realize, oh my gosh, I have this talent. Russell says I didn't focus enough in my early career, and you planted the flag. This is what I'm going to be. And it's cool because there wasn't really anyone doing that. I mean, at all. What did you do from there to kind of become the category king in everyone else's eyes? Yeah.
So I think it starts with you do have to have a level of confidence and certainty and deal with the imposter syndrome and put that away, shelve it as much as possible. But part of it too that I think too many people miss is like you have to like actually like put your 10,000 hours in before you can be category king.
Yeah.
And so for me, I had been doing the Dream 100 my whole life. Like as a, I talk about this in my books, like as a 13-year-old kid, I Dream 100'd to get high-speed internet in my neighborhood because we lived in the country. So like I created a list of, because I called the phone company every week for months because we're on this dial-up, man. How am I supposed to run an internet company off dial-up, man? Like that ain't gonna work. So I literally created a Dream 100 list of all my neighbors that I thought would say yes if I went and asked them if they wanted high-speed internet. And there were 12 of them. So I went, rode my bike to each one, got 11 out of 12, closed them, hardcore, right? Assassin. And
as a 13-year-old.
That's right. I mean, come on. And cold knocking. But I would have closed 12 for 12, but the 12th I had a conscience because he was an old farmer and he asked what high-speed internet was. Maybe I'll leave him off. And anyway, so I've been doing that whole life. I did that in high school to get myself a football scholarship to college. I did like all these examples leading up to it without knowing what I was doing. And then in business, when I realized what it was and like there was a word for it and it was an actual thing, like I created a system around it. And so then obviously developing books, podcast, challenge, launch program, mastermind, like all the other stuff around it, you encapsulate the 10,000 hours you put into it. You build all the tools and all the resources for someone to come into your world and to have success with it. And I think that's the formula for being category king.
I love that. 1,000 or 10,000 hours is certainly a must. And just because I know we've been throwing around some vernacular here, assuming everyone knows what it is. What is the Dream 100?
Yeah, so
ask that first.
That's okay. I take it for granted a lot too. So the Dream 100 is like it's basically putting the right people in place to collapse the time frames on your goals. So, for example, if someone's goal is to get access to a guy like Russell Brunson, it's doing the right things and putting the right people in place to get access to him the right way, sort of like I did. So tangible ways I did that. You did the same. You did every bit, if not better than me, probably really a lot better than me. But, first of all, it starts with like buying all their stuff or consuming as much of it as you can. Yeah. That's like kind of the golden rule. And then it's serving them and impacting their community as much as possible for free, if possible. And then kind of just doubling down and creating a value exchange from there.
It's interesting you said, I'm taking notes here. It's interesting you mentioned being their best student. That's fascinating. Yeah, because it's interesting because people will Dream 100 me, and I'm sure they Dream 100 you, that you're a Dream 100 guy, But like people will do it to me, and I'm like, I've never heard of you. And then there's others who will come in, and I'm like, I know this person. They're engaging with me. That's impactful right there. What do you think the biggest mistakes are people make with the Dream 100? Yeah,
by far the biggest mistake we see, and I'm on the receiving end of all the time, and I know you're on the receiving end of all the time is people, they'll either like read my book or they'll, somehow get some secondhand information on the Dream 100 and then think they're an expert. And then what they do is what I call spam 100ing. Yeah. So they'll go out, they'll create a list of 100 people, and then they'll go and spam them. And they'll, like I've heard you talk about this before, we get the same thing. They'll send you one package in the mail and then expect you to just promote them for the rest of their life or something. And then in even worse, they put almost a condition on it or an expectation that me doing this will get me something.
Yeah.
And the spirit of the Dream 100 is the opposite. It's unconditional giving for the greater good, if that makes sense.
So they go in and they just start sending gifts or something, and then I had a few people who just straight up sent cash. And they said, we know that your daily rate is this amount. We need 15 minutes of your time. Therefore, it's this amount. We look forward to your phone call. And it's like, I get it. And okay, clever to think of it that way, but it feels invasive.
It does. And I like my favorite analogies are Dream 100 or Dream 100ing are dating and marriage. So the equivalent of what they tried to do And whenever someone sends us anything with an expectation or a condition that we're going to do something in return, that's no different than somebody taking a gal out on a date, and the expectation that he has or the condition that he's kind of set is that they're going to go and do what he wants to do later that night, right? It kind of cheapens the whole thing. And the gal can feel that. Like, oh, the real reason that you're taking me to dinner and buying me drinks right now isn't because you genuinely want to get to know me and like me. You just want to do that later, right? Yeah. So we can feel that the same way that in that situation that just cheapens the whole thing.
It's true. And then you're like, oh man, it starts to feel. I remember one guy, he bought, actually I just got a Dream 100 package from this kid, and he took a milk carton and he put his picture on where like the missing persons thing. He put his picture on it, and it actually was super awesome. And it made me laugh and connect with him on everything he put on side of it as well. And I was like, this is awesome. Versus there's a stack over there I just haven't even gone through. Anyway, so spam 100. What's another huge mistake people make with this?
Saying the wrong things. So spam 100ing is the start of it, but then it's like trusting that you think you know what motivates someone. And there's like even a couple words that come natural to us that we think we should use, but are like awful, like the worst mistake you can make. I use, again, going back to the dating thing, Dream 100ing, when you reach out to Dream 100 and have communication with them, it's sort of like going on a date with like your childhood crush, like supermodel person, right? Like you got one chance. If you say the wrong thing, goodbye, you're gone, right? Like, so that would be biggest mistake number 2 is thinking you're using the right words and saying the right things. You know what motivates them, but
Is the wrong thing, especially like is the wrong thing something like you said, thinking that they're motivated by one thing, but they're really not. They're motivated by the other. And
absolutely. And also we've talked about this before, and this is actually something that I plan on sharing with your audience soon, is how much different your messaging needs to be from your customer to your Dream 100 target, because they're two totally different. They're motivated by two totally different things, and what we say to our customer versus what we say to our Dream 100 target does not work, and vice versa. What we say to our Dream 100 target, we should not say to our customer, and people try to blend the two, and that's why it doesn't work.
I remember somebody asked, well, how do I create a relationship with them? Like, how would you create a relationship with anybody? Do that. That's the checklist right there. And interesting. Okay, so spam 100. They say the wrong things, and especially they say the wrong things in terms of, I'm going to speak to somebody. Hopefully, it promotes my product the same way I speak to my customers, and that's bad. Bad blood. That's cool. So I guess what will you be talking about? So if you guys don't know, Dana is actually going to come speak at OfferMind, and he's one of the highlights, baby. And I'm super excited for him to come. This is like, just to give you guys even more context around this whole Dream 100 thing. And if you're like, I still don't know what Dream 100 is, totally get it, but you got to go look up Dana after this and grab his book. The Dream 100 is like so powerful that Russell, I was in the room with him, and he goes, I don't even start a business unless I can identify the Dream 100. I don't care how good the product is, how much I could sell it for, how much. He doesn't even start until he says, until I know that the Dream 100 is there, I'm not even going to begin the product, which is amazing. So he's going to come in, Dana's going to come in and teach us more about that and how to put that together as it relates to your offers. I guess, what else are you going to talk about at OfferMind?
Yeah, so this is so funny. I wrote this book almost 3 years ago. Yeah. And it wasn't until 6 months ago. This is terrible to admit. So Russell wrote the foreword, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that quote at the top, can you read that?
Yeah. The foundation of our entire company.
That's a quote from Russell talking about ClickFunnels.
Really?
Yeah. AKA the fastest non-VC backed software company, fastest growing in history.
I didn't know that.
6 months ago, I was like, I've had these for years. And I looked at it and I was like, holy crap. Like, I didn't even notice. I glossed over that. That was a huge turning point and a shift for me to go all in times 10 on this. So one of the things that actually inspired in my head was how and where I can implement the Dream 100, not just for traffic or not just for like the one thing I think it's for, right? And what I started realizing was the Dream 100 is literally everywhere. And once we open up our eyes and we put the Dream 100 lens on, like the old Dream 100 glasses, those are the Thug Life glasses.
I love it.
All this stuff kind of comes natural. So I think the biggest thing that I can bring to OfferMind, and we were chatting before we got on air about how amazingly complementary what we do is, you and I, Steven and I. Yeah. And a lot of people that come into my world, I'll just be fully transparent, love the thought of the Dream 100 in theory. They're all in, excited to do it, but they're not ready. Like, they're just not ready. And what Steven does and what's going to happen in OfferMind is Steven gets you ready to Dream 100 and to Dream 100 the right way. And then all I do is take you who have a killer offer and you know who the heck it's for and how to get it to them. And then I go and help you to find where those people are and blow things up and just collapse timeframes so that it happens a lot quicker. So without getting into the gory details, I think the biggest thing that I'll bring to OfferMind that everybody needs to like literally pause this and go to offermind.com and get your ticket now before it's full would be to know that you don't have to mess around with like the difficult like tech stuff. So like Facebook ads and like YouTube ads, like that's not the best way to do this. Like figuring out ahead of time, because everybody just thinks that that's what you do next. No. Figure out ahead of time these distribution channels, what we were talking about earlier, by way of the Dream 100, and then it's all ready. It's like setting up the like slides ahead of time. All you need to do is just get your thing, and then like the slides are there, sending your thing to your dream customer, and you just shoot them down the slides. So we'll set up your slides. That's a weird analogy, but
I want to go down the slide.
Yeah, exactly. And the more slides, the more, guess what? The more money you're going to make. So we'll set up the slides and we'll know how to, like, first of all, we know who your dream owner is. We'll know how to approach them the right way, not the way that most do it. And then we'll know what to say, how to build those relationships, how to monetize, cash in on those relationships. And then, of course, how to leverage your amazing, irresistible offer that Steven's going to help you create to the fullest and do Dream 100 the crap out of it.
Super awesome. Guys, the purpose of OfferMind is to help you design and launch a lucrative offer. That's it. But I can't even think of how to actually do that without doing what Dana also does, right? So that's why this is such a fun, natural fix, and very excited for you to come, man. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Thanks for taking the time to come in on both the show, but also Boise, Idaho.
Oh, I'm super excited to come back to Boise, man. There's two people I'd go to Boise to see. You're one of them.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate it. And the other will also be speaking, so that's good too. Right?
Guys, I'm telling you right now, having had Russell on my stage before, which, mind you, he didn't belong on because he was so above and beyond what I gave him. Like, he is such an awesome human being for coming out there. It's like kind of like Michael Jordan coming and like playing on your 3-on-3 like weekend bar league basketball team. You know, that's what it was like. So guess what? We won. Like,
guess what? We won.
There's no other reason than to come get your offer done. Okay, cool. Or to come like get your Dream 100 rolling. Cool. But like just being that close to Russell like that. I mean, I'm sure everyone saw the documentary. I don't think the dude's going to speak anymore. Or at least I'm not counting on it. So this could be one of the last times you get to see him speak at all.
He actually told me that. He's like, I'm kind of done. I was like, well, sweet, man. Thanks. And guess how I got him, everybody? I wrote a Dream 100 campaign and did like 4 or 5 episodes on it. And that's why he came. It wasn't because I asked him or he and I have a relationship. I use what Dana teaches, and that's why Russell's coming. It's crazy.
So y'all might not get Russell because he might have retired, but think of who you can get at your event. Like, Steven and I, even me, I'm way worse. But like, dude, I have no business doing like working with Russell. Like, I'm a goat farmer from Wisconsin. You know what I mean? Like, but look at what we're pulling off. Like they ClickFunnels, just for context, everybody. This is the power of the Dream 100. Look at how amazingly stacked Steven's lineup is. Just look, go to OfferMind.com and look. Like, how many other websites on the internet right now have Russell Brunson as a keynote speaker for their event? I don't know.
Tony Robbins did last week.
Okay, there you go.
That's all I can think of.
Tony Robbins did. I think Grant Cardone did a few months ago.
Yeah.
Those are pretty big names for us to be in, right? And why? Because of the Dream 100.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you this, just for a stat for everybody. When I landed Russell to speak at my event, I don't even know if you know that. You probably do. You were there. But I remember his assistant, Melanie, told me that they get about 15, at the time, they got 15 solicitations for him to speak at events per week. That's like paid, right? Not just
15
like
a week?
Yeah. It was more than that.
Whoa.
Yeah. But 15 a week, and they turned them all down. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it makes sense because minute for minute, he's arguably the highest paid speaker in the world. So that would make sense. But Steven and I got him to come to our events because of the Dream 100. Right? Not because we were like one of the 15 people that spam 100'd. Right? We did all the things that we're going to show you at OfferMind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. I'm excited.
It's going to be awesome. Dude, I'm really pumped that you're coming, and I'm so psyched about it. Guys, right now, as of the time of us making this and doing this together with you guys, VIP, I believe, is completely sold out. The room, we are actually starting to look at adjusting certain things for fitting more people. So go get your ticket at OfferMind.com. It's coming up. This is not – I am a time Nazi. I hate wasting my time, and I hate people wasting my time. I'm pretty finicky about it. I promise if you show up, I'm not here to waste your time. We're not here to waste your time. We're going to give you actionable things. It's a networking event, and that you'll meet people that will really change your life, but that's not why it's there. OfferMind is a curriculum. Okay. And I want you to come and learn these talents and this is just a skill set, right? I mean, I got kicked out of college, man. Like you and I, we're not like, look at our IQs. That's not it at all. We just know some formulas and patterns and we just keep running them.
Don't lie to him. We met at a Mensa convention.
Oh. No, man. Well, guys, thanks so much. And thank you for being on here, man. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks again. See you at OfferMind.